I kept you waiting long enough. Today we are looking at Gopher Guts by AESOP Rock. We're going to let him rattle off the verses, and we'll go into it after every chorus. So, without further ado, here's Gopher Guts.
Greasy, grimy gopher guts, poolside. Open one, I don't forget spoons twice. Lukewarm vultures, mold on his moon pie. Booms in his home, the dissipating the fruit flies. Suicide lane, wide load ride, looting in the wake of an amicable marooning. My duty go for moving in packs to sharing food with a cat. To mocks me, I accidentally saw the woman in half. She said, I'll keep you in my prayers. I said, I need to hide a body. She said, okay, honey, talk to you on Friday. Apparently we share a common plasma, so the growing disconnection doesn't matter. According to the blood and water chapter. Weird. Who wrote the blood and water chapter anyway? Probably sincerely dad. Only child, 30 cats. Looking for a way to reconnect with an averted past. Except it doesn't always work like that. Today I pulled 3 baby snakes out of moss and dirt. With a wild strawberry bombs toss and turn. I told them you were gonna be something inventive and electric. You were healthy, you were special, you were present. Then I let them go.
What I love about this is the beat itself is not carrying the weight of the song, and the vocals do not, the vocals don't dissipate the beat, which I love the cadence, I love the wordplay, and I love the illustration in the beginning. This first verse, this first 4 bars, sounds like a child you would be disappointed in. Actually, it would be the first 8 bars, because it ends on the 8th bar with him saying, "Mom, I saw the woman in half." These are things that you worry about for your child, like mold on a moon pie. Moon pie is a pastry. It's a pastry, and if mold on it would mean it was exposed or it's just expired, and he's just not eating well, and he's not taking care of his food or his body. I think he said something about fruit flies. Lukewarm Folgers, mold on his moon pie. Lukewarm Folgers coffee, rooms in his house that dissipate into fruit flies. It sounds like he just doesn't take care of the house. I had a roommate when I was in the Navy. We bought an apartment, 5 of us, 2 bedrooms. One of us had to sleep on the couch. But all of them except for me and one of the guys were bodybuilders. And they would prep food every morning at like 3 o'clock. It was fucking annoying. And I'd come home, none of the dishes being done. It was just a fucking pile of dishes. Because of that, we had an excessive amount of fruit flies. They just came up through the trap. They were so aggressively polluting the house. They were an infestation. So I'm thinking when it comes to that line, rooms in the house that dissipate in the fruit flies, he's not doing his dishes, he's not cleaning up. So this is something that you would tell your children to do, but as an adult, he's not doing it. I don't know why he's saying poolside though. Poolside, what the fuck are you talking about? Greasy, grimy gopher guts. Despite it being the title of the song and it's an alliteration, greasy, grimy gopher guts. This has to be like a reference to a fable or something. If you guys know, let me know in the comments. But poolside, he's hanging out by his own pool. I don't think he's rich yet. Maybe he is. I don't think he's rich, but I'm not going to assume. I'm not going to be that guy. Suicide lane, wide load ride, looting. It sounds like he's driving very fast. Suicide lane. He's in the far left lane. Because of the word looting, I have to imagine he has an armored car. I have to imagine that he stole a car, is in the left lane, speeding his ass off. It's a wide load. My duty go from moving in packs to sharing food with a cat. Okay, so he went from a lot of people that he was tied to. He had a team, he had a squad, he had a friends and family, but it seems like he is just with Kirby now. Kirby is his cat. Tama, it's me, I accidentally sawed a woman in half. The first verse up into the chorus leads me to believe that the whole song has to be with a relationship with your parents. It has to be like this, the stem of how your parents raised you into how you raise something else. And I'm one of 6 technically, but I only grew up with 2 others. And we're all just insanely different. Our careers, our choice in people we hang out with, and our hobbies. I have to imagine that because he's like this it sounds like a loser. Realistically, the lines that we're looking at in the first verse sound like they're coming from a loser. I accidentally sawed a woman in half. She said, I'll keep you in my prayers. I said, I need to hide a body. She said, okay, honey, talk to you on Friday. Oh, so, okay, I'm rereading this. It doesn't sound like it's support. It sounds like she wasn't listening. Apparently, we share a common plasma, so the growing disconnection doesn't matter. Plasma is in your blood. It doesn't matter how different they are as people. They're related. Who wrote the Blood and Water chapter anyway? I know a small amount about religion. I don't know the book that well. It's gonna be something weird. It's gonna be like one of the disciples, I'm sure. Probably some surly dad, only child, 30 cats. Is it God? Am I wrong? Am I stupid? Is he talking about God? 30 cats could mean his like children, like his Adam and Eve, Cain and Abel, moving on. Looking for a way to reconnect with an averted past. I remember I heard this song maybe a few times, but I never really paid attention to the lyrics until I announced I was gonna do this video. But I do know that in every chorus, he references pulling animals out of something, like out of their habitat. But every time he talks to them, he compliments them and reassures them. And I don't know if this is his way of passing on the token of approval that he did not get. So when you tell your parents that you have an aspiration or a dream, and they a lot of the time they just shut them down, unless they're like a career path. And you know, I had a buddy who said, I want to be an engineer. And as soon as he said it, was, all right, cool, done. I said, yeah, I want to be in a punk rock band. Okay, that ain't going to fucking happen. So this is probably what he was trying to avoid with passing on, like, that negative energy where people feel less about themselves. So I think everything he said to these animals and choruses was supposed to be what he would say to his children. Because I don't think he has children. I know he was married at one point. I think he's divorced now, but it sounds like this is what you would say to encourage and to support, to show support to your child.
You were sitting at the gate awaiting spirits and provisions. I was privy to a headache over pirouetting innards in a mirror, sweating pictures. Who's there, simian or lizard? As it were, there is a disappearing difference in ambition and material. Antiquated gentlemen, outlaws reduced to a Ferris wheel of vitriol. Move as a godless heathen, black gums, tooth gone. Bootleg Yukon, Cornelius, I'm a... That's better, here we go. Disenchanted face printed on a $0 bill. Got a little plot of land where authority isn't recognized. Contraband keeping the core beside Jekyll's. Check. Never mind a misanthrope vying for affection to the wretched sound of mysticism. Dying, it is something he must handle on his own. The wind blown way when a wind don't play. Today I pulled 3 green frogs at a leaf and bark, where the grapevines climb a convenient barn. I told him you will grow to be something tenacious and exalted. You are mighty, you are gracious, you are lauded. Then I let him go.
Okay, okay. That second verse I like a lot. I love this verse. You were sitting at the gate awaiting spirits and provisions. 2 things, in my opinion. It could be the gate of heaven or the gate of like an airplane. I was privy to a headache over pirouetting innards. Pirouetting is the dance that ballerinas do, where they balance on one leg and twirl, and they have the other leg on the knee or the shin of the twirling leg. In the mirror sweating pitchers, who's there, simian or lizard? Sweating pitchers, not like pitchers who throw a baseball, sweating pitchers in like the cup, like the amount. Who's there, simian or lizard? Simian being like a primate, and I'm thinking lizard as in like cold-blooded. These 4 bars, I'm not quite sure who he is addressing, because we know in the first verse he was talking to his mom, and it sounds like in the chorus he's talking about how he would support his children if he had children. But now I'm not understanding in these 4 lines, I don't understand who he's after. I'm probably going to get it as I'm editing this video, maybe, but did his mom pass away? Is this who he's talking to? Antiquated gentlemen, outlaws, like cowboys, like the Morgans, reduced to a Ferris wheel of vitriol. So vitriol is criticism. I'm thinking like Mama's Boys. So, okay, that makes sense. Okay, so he's talking about, I don't know if you know this, but Genghis Khan was a mama's boy, supposedly. They're gentlemen outlaws. I'm not going to use gentlemen for Genghis Khan, but outlaws. They're monsters, reduced to a Ferris wheel of vitriol. They're just criticized by their parents. Move as a godless heathen. Black gums, tooth gone, bootleg, Yukon Cornelius. Yukon Cornelius was from Frankenbass, the Christmas movie.
The name's Yukon Cornelius, the greatest prospector in the North. Nothing.
Disenchanted face printed on a $0 bill. $0 bill would be worth nothing, so if you were on a currency, you would be worth nothing. Got a little plot of land where authority isn't recognized. He lived out into the wilderness. I think I said this before in the Gates video, but he lives out in the mountains, is what I associate this with. He would have to live somewhere where the cops are not at, and I'm thinking the woods. So where are the woods? The majority of the time, the mountains. So I think he's in the mountains. Contraband, keeping the core of his hide Jekyllized. Weed. I think he's smoking weed. Contraband would be the weed, keeping the core of his hide Jekyllized. Hyde was the monster that Dr. Jekyll turned into. Never read the book. Played the game though. Terrible.
Never mind a misanthrope vying for affection to the wretched sound of mysticism dying. It is something he must handle on his own. The wind blown way when a wind don't play. Today I pulled 3 green frogs at a leaf and bark where the grapevines climb a convenient barn. I told him you will grow to be something tenacious and exalted. You are mighty, you are gracious, you are lauded. Then I let him go.
Never mind a misanthrope vying. A misanthrope is someone who has a distaste for like humanity, doesn't like people, doesn't like society. Vying, I think, is for competing. I think you're competing if you are vying. Never mind a misanthrope vying for affection. So he hates people, but he wants the affection. To the wretched sound of mysticism dying. Mysticism dying, like something magical? Is it something he must? It is something he must handle on his own. The wind blown way. When a wind don't play. So I don't know what he means by the wind blown way. The wind blown way. Path of least resistance. You're going not against the wind. You're going with the wind. When a wind don't play.
Oh. I have been completely unable to maintain any semblance of relationship on any level. I have been a bastard to the people who have actively attempted to deliver me from peril. I have been acutely undeserving of the ear that listen up and lip that kiss me on the temple. I have been accustomed to a stubborn disposition that admits it wish its history disassembled.
That is okay. Wow, holy shit. That is fuck me. God damn. That's not like AESOP Rock, in my opinion. Those last 4 lines we heard, the third and the fourth are definitely like AESOP, in my opinion. I've been acutely undeserving of the ear that listen up and lip that kiss me on the temple. Maybe it's a little too on the nose. And I have been accustomed to a stubborn disposition that admits it. That 4th line is more like an AESOP Rock style, but I think that is the reason why these first 3 lines are so fucking... They're hard-hitting, goddamn. Like, they're just so blatant. They're completely unable to maintain any semblance of relationship on any level. You can break that down so simply. There's no layer behind it. That's the beauty of that line, is all the previous lines have layers. This one is as clear as day as you can make it. You cannot be more on the nose or obvious. I've been a bastard to the people who have actively attempted to deliver me from peril. So everyone knows a family member like this, where they don't reach out, they don't communicate, they want to do everything on their own. And I know later on, I heard the song Blood Sandwich before I heard this one. And in Blood Sandwich, he's talking about his relationship with his brothers. And in the chorus, he says things along the lines of like, yeah, it's been a while since I talked to him, but I called him up last night. How you doing? So it sounds like at that point, he's getting back into his relationships with his family. But I don't know if his mom is still alive or if she's even alive at the time of recording this song. it's just fucking. That's a deep first 3-4 lines to this interlude.
For me from peril. I have been acutely undeserving of the ear that listen up and lip that kiss me on the temple. I have been accustomed to a stubborn disposition that admits it wish its history disassembled. I have been a hypocrite in sermonizing tolerance while skimming for a ministry to pretzel. I have been unfairly resentful of those I wish had acted different when the bidding was essential.
Okay, I think I gotta go into that. I've been a hypocrite in sermonizing tolerance. Sermonizing tolerance, talking like, hey, you should all be more tolerant. Easy. While skimming for a ministry to pretzel. So something to like tear down and warp. I guess warp would be the correct word for pretzel, the correct simile. I have been unfairly resentful of those I wish I had acted different when the bidding was essential. I know bidding means two things. Bidding for like a price, so competing for a price, or bidding an order or a request, something to do. I think in this last line here, I have been unfairly resentful, is he's talking to his brothers or he's talking to his mom. But I'm pretty sure it's his mom. She probably told him to do something because it was better for him. That she knew, like, don't do this. It's a bad move. And he was resentful to her or to his brothers for that. And he's right. That's you don't know when you're a kid. You don't know it's unfair. You don't know what because you think you're right all the time. Everyone does. You can't get away from it. That's a very poetic way of owning up to saying I was not right. You know, I was aggressively wrong, and I apologize.
I have been a terrible communicator, prone to isolation over sympathy for devils. I have been my own worst enemy since the very genesis of rebels. Today I pulled 3 ghost crabs out of rock and sand with a low tide showcase of promised land. I told them you were going to be something dynamic and impressive. You are patient, you are gallant, you are festive. Then I let them go.
That makes me very sad and appreciative. It makes me very sad and appreciative of my relationship with my parents. And I was the worst child. I got it from my dad. My dad was the kid who could do no wrong. And when he had me, I was not raised correctly by him. So I had to like play catch up for like the first 15 years, 20 years of my goddamn life, and before I realized what I was doing was completely fucking stupid. So I understand, and I think he's the middle. Yeah, he's the middle child, which is weird that the middle child would have this apology, because I always know the middle childs of most families are the ones who are able to witness the oldest one screw up, so they don't replicate those mistakes. It's a very deep song, and then it becomes blatantly obvious, and I think the best part about this, if you're still watching this video, the best part about this song, in my opinion, is that he's not trying to make this mistake he made glamorous. He's not trying to flip the script and flip the beat. The beat doesn't get any better or worse. It doesn't swap. It doesn't do anything like change like it does in Attaboy, or if it does in Crystal Sword. It doesn't do that. It's a very, here's a drum beat and here's a sound effect in the background. It's like a synth, and here's everything. And then it's very digestible, which is like, I love this song. It's very digestible. And the best part, one of the best parts is on the chorus. He wasn't super obvious. Like, you know what he's doing, but he worked so hard on the choruses. He chose 3 different animals in 3 different locations and said 3 different things about them, and then he let them go. And I think that's how he looks at him and his brothers. Maybe it's a great song, guys. I'm so happy you guys requested this song. I'm very happy. I read your comments and see what you guys are talking about. So yeah, please let me know what you want to see in the next one. I have other AESOP Rock videos. If you guys want to watch other AESOP Rock videos, check out my channel. I have better breakdowns, and I'm looking forward to making more. So please drop some requests, and I'll see you in the next video.